Jupiter Rail House. Okay, what we've done is Mr. Carson, which we're doing the work for, has piloted the holes up where he wanted the legs, chalked a line down the center of the beam, set it exactly where it goes. He okayed at this point, and Juan is what he's done is he's marked around each one of the legs. Going to move the stand out of the way. And just make the cuts around just for the legs to set down on the still. Save that material. We'll reuse that material to fill the hole back in. Okay, now what he's doing is he's just taking a Sawzall, not cutting all the way through the metal deck below. All you're doing is cutting out the roofing materials, so where you can fasten the legs down to the still. He'll trim around them like that, then take a flat bar, pop the insulation out. Like I say, save the insulation so you can fill the hole back in. Okay, now he's got all of his cuts, cleaned out the holes, and he's putting them in order where they go back, because that way, where you cut it out, it's just a lot easier to go back in the same hole with the same piece. A couple of them had screws right in there, so you back the screw out. So now we can actually set the stand in, and we can bolt the one side down, and they're putting some steel underneath so to hit the other side of the legs. Okay, now what I've done is set them up with a pattern. You know, with cutting your salvage edge off, you got 36 inches, so we're just going to do 18 by 18. But in order to get an 18 by 18, we're doing 18 wide, and you'll do 21 long. That way you can split it in the middle and get a lap, because the pipes are already put together. So obviously we can't slide it down over the pipe. So what we'll do is you'll have a piece that will torch on like so, and then we'll have a lap piece coming back over it like that. Round the corners off, so you don't have any issues there. Still around it. Then we'll butter around the patches, and then these also get Kim curbs. Okay, now we're starting to put the legs back down. I got them bolted down, which, you know, putting four bolts in each one, filling it back in with the insulation back to flush, and then we'll put the targets on there. Okay, the next step, what we're doing is we're setting doing a piece of pill and stick set in modified roofing cement, sealing that off, looks like so. Then we're coming back, torching target on top, two-piece target, to where it's got an overlap in the center there. He'll heat weld that all the way down, torch that all the way down, granules around the outside of it, and then we'll come back and take these Kim curbs, put two beads of caulking or sealant. It's actually the M1 sealant. You put two beads, one here, click them together around the pipe, set it down, let that set for a little bit, and then we're filling it up with a pourable one part pourable sealer that's made for it, and that hardens like a solid rubber. And that's kind of what you're going to have after we're done. I've got all these legs to do yet. They've got all the targets pre-made. There's a goosenecks. We'll be popping those goosenecks in to feed the lines up to these. Back up here in the morning, they popped in these other curbs at 3 o'clock this morning, and we filled them back in with the board. What we're doing is we're using modified roofing cement, putting a base flashing around there. We're going to do a base flashing up 3 inches, 3.5, something like that. That'll be flashed around her like that, and then we're going to come back up, we'll prime it, and we'll come back up with another torch modified out and granule around it. Ran into a little longer time frame just because you know, kind of new to these guys a little bit. This is the ending result of what we're doing, but there was you know, we still got these legs to do. It's moving a lot smoother now since they got the concept of everything. So plus it's Friday and I think they're wanting to go home. So we're getting getting these legs set in here now. Cut it out, and we bolt it down with a 4-inch drill point, 1/4 inch, 4 holes through red iron. So we got 2 more to set, and then they got to strip these guys in, strip those 2 curbs, and then we got 5 goosenecks. With the goosenecks, we're going to fasten on top with insulation screws, set them in cement, strip them in with a base, and torch a granulated around it. Okay, it's around 9:30. All the stands are in. They're putting the last of the insulation around the last stand. We got 1 curb that's got to be insulated. These curbs are in and flashed. Just got the turn bar to go on. These already have the first targets on them. Just got to torch targets on 1, 2, 3, 4 stands. 16, so 16 legs. Got 5 goosenecks. Goosenecks are already set in cement. They just got to be stripped in. Strip around the goosenecks with targets. Put the Kim curbs on. Like I say, it's 9:30 in the morning. I have to run to Davie. I went ahead and flashed these curbs real quick because it's taking a while. Anyway, they should have no problem. It ain't gonna be an early day, but it has to be finished. So okay, it's around 11:30, 11:45. All the stands are in, the curbs are all in. Fasten down the last 2 goosenecks. These are all stripped. All that's going to be done on these, turn bar, put on those. That one don't go there. So you got that unit there that needs the legs torched down yet. Torch strip around these 4 goosenecks, which basically just torch a strip around them. And then put the Kim curbs, which is basically just caulking, setting, and filling it full. It's 11:42, I think, right now. So this is what's left that needs to be finished before I leave. I went and got an extra tank of propane. So this is what we had. They added a couple things that wasn't originally on there. So we had 2 2x2 curbs, which is basically just, they cut them in and fasten them in. All we had to do is flash around them. We had those stands right there, which is 3 of the small ones, 1 big one, 1 small one up there. Basically, it's just fasten the legs down. And we got the 4 goosenecks for the pipes that's going to come out for all these equipment stands. And then all they got to do is torch the targets on there. All the targets are torched on. Those have the Kim curbs on already. Got 2, I think they're going to add 1 more pipe. There's a 3-inch pipe up there. I think they're going to add 1 more, but all that is just strip in a boot. So that's what we got left to do. Yeah, I drove to Davie, came back. Kind of what they got accomplished is pretty much all they did is put the Kim curbs on, which is, takes, I don't know, 5 minutes a piece. Got 1 curb he's working on right now. So pretty much same place as when I left. They said it couldn't be done. Curb set on there, flashed. It's gonna be 100%. Gonna be 100% when we leave here today. We will not have to come back. That's exactly how I got the name Bad Bill. Made this shit happen. It's gonna be done. Curbs flashed. Piece of cake. We will not have to stay the night. We will not have to come back. They got 30 minutes worth of work left to do. Be cleaning up, getting out of here. Be a late day. Pay them a little extra for the day. Piece of cake.